You know why I'm here. I'm doing the Bears reactions. I want to do it every single week this year. And obviously, if you clicked on the video, you want to know what went down yesterday. Maybe you even saw what went down yesterday. Maybe you, too, are extremely disappointed in the Chicago Bears. The Bears lost 38-20 against the Green Bay Packers without Aaron Rodgers. So for Aaron Rodgers, over the course of his career, to say he owns the Chicago Bears, it's not true. Jordan Love did the same thing to us. Same old Chicago Bears. Losing to Green Bay, getting blown out at home. Absolutely unacceptable. Unacceptable. You had all offseason to prepare for this Green Bay Packers team. I get it. I get Jordan Love was not it was not somebody you really necessarily had enough film on to prepare for. But Jordan Love, I know Jordan Love had a good game. He did not beat you. He did not beat you. When Jordan Love is passing to a wide open Luke Musgrave down the sideline, and there's not a guy within 50 yards of him, and the only reason it's not a touchdown is because he tripped, Luke Musgrave is not the one that beat you. Jordan Love is not the one that beat you. Anybody could make that pass. It doesn't matter if it's Jordan Love, doesn't matter if it's Aaron Rodgers, it doesn't matter if it's some guy off the street. As long as you can throw the ball 30, 40 yards, that was completed. Because not a single defender was there. Not a single defender was there. Offensively, I was very disappointed. It was like years past. It was like the Nagy era. It was like last year where I said we played too conservatively. We didn't take a shot, and when we did take a shot, Darnell Mooney wound up in the end zone. We started the game off hot. Justin Fields looked like maybe we could pass the football because he was like 6 for 6 for 90-something yards in his first however many passes. I was like, oh wow, he really has came a long way. He is making the passes. And then in the second quarter and the remainder of the game, outside of when we were playing desperately in the fourth quarter to get back in the game, we were playing conservatively. We were throwing screen after screen after screen. We were throwing it at the line of scrimmage. Our offensive line was collapsing left and right. I can't tell whether or not Justin Fields is taking too long because he's sitting in the pocket, and then he's scrambling. Is anybody open down the field? I don't know. Is it a Justin Fields problem? I don't know. All I can tell you is it is the same thing that happened last year. There's no more excuse about there's no more weapons. You got DJ Moore, you got Darnell Mooney, you got Chase Claypool. Roschon Johnson looked good. Khalil Herbert, he was basically a non-factor. D'Onta Foreman, he was basically a non-factor. Out of everybody that I saw play yesterday, Roschon Johnson's the only person that I will give a pat on the back and say he did a good job. Fields at times, I think, could have been quicker with his decisions. Obviously, a lot of people made it be out to Justin Fields. Takes too long to make decisions. They've said that over the course of his career. And I'm not sure whether or not it's true or not. But yesterday was not a good look for both Fields, the offense, the offensive line. It was not a good look for anybody. And I don't know if it's first game jitters. I don't know what it is. But that is a completely unacceptable performance after you get a whole offseason to prepare. Early on in the game, I would like to see you establish a run game. I don't think a single running back had over 10 carries. Actually, let me go back to the stats because it will tell me Justin Fields, I know for a fact, led the team in rushing yards with 59. Let's see. Yeah. Herbert had 9. Roschon had 5. Foreman had 5. And Cole Kmet had a single carry. It's not like anybody was killing it when it came to rushing. I do think Roschon did fairly well. But You didn't really establish a rush game. You never really established it. You never really got them guessing. Justin Fields went out there, threw 37 passes, 216 yards, a touchdown, and an interception, got sacked 4 times. Getting sacked 4 times is unacceptable. And at time, Whitehair was blowing. I believe his name's Carl Brooks. Brooks, or who I think it's Carl Brooks, the rookie. Is that Carl Brooks? Yeah, it is Carl Brooks. I knew there was a. Is he a rookie? Maybe he's a second-year player, but I knew there was a defensive end named Carl Brooks. I didn't know if that was that guy, but it was Brooks. I knew his last name was Brooks. He beat him. Beat Cody Whitehair, made him give up a sack. I mean, I was not impressed by the offensive. The only thing I did like at the offensive line is Jair Alexander did hit Justin Fields when Justin Fields was kind of giving himself up running towards the sideline. Typically, there's a flag to be associated when you're running towards the sideline and get hit. I don't know why it wasn't associated with the Fields one. I know the commentators, well, he was still in bounds when he got hit. Typically, that doesn't matter when you're giving yourself up as a quarterback. They call it a penalty, but not with the Bears. Not with the Bears. Doesn't matter anymore because it's Chicago. We gotta do what we gotta do to Chicago. But we saw the offensive line step up. They got in a shoving match. DJ Moore pushed Jair Alexander. Good. You're not gonna hit our quarterback. You're not gonna hit our quarterback. I did like to see that. Obviously, we know how explosive Justin Fields can be with his feet. We still got to see that, and he wasn't really as much as we've seen in the past, but towards that second half, it looked like the Justin Fields from last year that he was just running for his life because everything was going wrong, just trying to get something to work out. I just don't understand it. I don't understand why we can't figure it out on the offensive side of things. I really don't. You added DJ Moore. Obviously, you traded big. You traded a second round pick for Claypool. You went out and got Nate Davis. You wasted, or well, I wouldn't say wasted a first round pick. I didn't think he did bad. I liked Darnell Wright's play, to be honest, yesterday. He did chase down on the pick six and gave a hard tackle at the 1 yard line. I like to see offensive linemen not give up on plays. But you went out and got Darnell Wright. So you did all this in the offseason to supposedly help out the offense. And I'm going to be honest, it did not feel like an improved offense. It did not feel like one. It didn't look like one. You put 20 points on the board, but at the end of the day, I cannot say I was happy with it. I can't say that we had moments that we looked good. Like I said, Roschon's the only person on the entire offense that I can look back at and say he did a good job. Fields, I don't want to go and make the call yet that he's not the quarterback for the Bears. I don't want to go make the call yet that it's the other people that are lacking around Fields. Obviously, in the past, I came on here and said you got to get him help. It's the first game. I understand it. It's not. It doesn't mean it's acceptable to have this poor of a game, but I don't know if I'm ready to make a decision or make a call on what it is with this Bears offense just yet. To me, it feels like a coaching problem still. You're doing the same stuff that didn't work, expecting different results. You're doing the same stuff Nagy was doing. You're doing the same thing that hasn't worked for Chicago, and you think it's going to work. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Defensively, I don't know what happened. You made Jordan Love look like a dang superstar. Jordan Love looked better than Aaron Rodgers yesterday. And it's not because Jordan Love was making difficult passes or Jordan Love was just that much better than the Bears, or it wasn't like Jordan Love was out here making reads that Aaron Rodgers wouldn't have been able to make. He was literally throwing to wide open guys. Musgrave, Joe Reed. It didn't matter, but they were finding space because our secondary looked lost. I don't know who was making the mistakes in the second. I can tell you Eddie Jackson was seemingly struggling. Maybe it wasn't Eddie Jackson's guy at the end of things, but there was a few times I'm sitting there like, what is Eddie Jackson doing? It looks like he's in a zone, But literally nobody's within 5 or 10 yards of Joe Reed or Luke Musgrave. And we had trouble tackling. We had trouble tackling, of course. Wouldn't be football if the Bears didn't have trouble tackling. I mean, you had all off season. I don't necessarily even if you lost, I would have expected you to come out and give. And this is what they're saying on commentary. Ryan Poles, I believe, said something about like you don't want hope. You want this team to believe that they can win. With what I saw yesterday, I don't know if you have the right guys there. If that is the mentality you're looking for, they need to believe they can win. You say this is one of the easier games that you're going to get on your schedule. No Aaron Rodgers. Christian Watson wasn't even available. Romeo Doubs is coming off an injury, and he still had a big game. I mean, at the end of the day, you look at it, there's not very many positives to take away. There's not. And obviously, I don't want to come on here and overreact and say, I mean, it went through my head yesterday, just sell the team. Just sell the team. Just get it done with. Sell the team, get some new coaching staff, start from the top down. And I think over the night I've definitely came to terms with it a little bit more. Obviously, it's going to be a process with Eberflus. It's going to be a process getting that offense to work. Doesn't mean I'm happy with what the game brought forth yesterday. Does not mean that at all. And it's hard. It really is difficult to sit here and say, be patient. Be patient. Be patient. Because we've been patient. We've been patient. We were patient with Mitch. It never happened. We were patient with Fields so far. Hasn't happened yet. Fields has made some real good plays on the ground. He's had good moments through the air. We just need to see that string together throughout an entire game and carry from game to game and have some consistency to performances. And I don't know if that's a Fields is taking too long to pass type of solution, or I don't know if that is a offensive line solution. I don't know if it's a solution where our receivers and tight ends aren't making the moves able to get open down the field. I don't know. I do not know. But they cannot go into Tampa Bay next week, do what they did this week, and expect it to work. They can't. They cannot do that. Because if they do, they're going to end up with the same result, and then they're going to go 0-2 in the season to start, and we're going to be drafted at the top of the draft next year, where everybody, and I mean everybody, and I don't necessarily want this, if you have a poor enough season, don't forget, we have the Panthers pick as well. If we pick inside the top 5 with either of those picks, I wouldn't be surprised if through the offseason people are telling you the Fields era is over, look towards Caleb Williams. There's a generational QB in the draft. Your QB needs to not necessarily prove, but fend off anybody that's going to try to propose that you need to do that. And I think you need to have a middle of the pack season. I think you need to go out and win the division, maybe even. And yesterday, I did not see a division winning team. Yesterday, I did not see a division winning team. Yesterday, I did not see a team that's competing for the playoffs. Yesterday, I did not see a middle of the pack team. Yesterday, I saw a team that was playing inside the top 10. And I hope it's just first game jitters. I really do. Hopefully, they get it figured out. But we are not. We are not what we were yesterday. We cannot go out and perform like that again. Thank you all for watching. Obviously, a disappointing game. But at the end of the day, there are Chicago Bears. Don't want to overreact this early in the season, but It felt familiar. I'll leave it at that. It definitely felt familiar.